Hey guys, it's Allie. Welcome back to Sorta Siblings. So one of my favorite bands, Set It Off, released a new album on the 1st of February. And I had mixed feelings on a lot of the songs, so I figured that for the three people who cared, I would go through and say my feelings about all of the songs and stuff. So yeah. So if you don't know who Set It Off is, they are I don't even know how to describe this. Just shows how dumb I am with music genres. I would say they're rock, punk-ish. I started listening to them when I was in 7th or 8th grade, going through a emo phase as you do in middle school. But honestly, I still listen to them today. They're kind of a guilty pleasure band of mine. They're kind of similar to Panic. I would say some of their songs are a little bit more aggressive than Panic's are, and some of their songs are a little bit more pop and mainstream sounding than Panic's are. So they're an interesting mix. Okay, so now I'm going to go through each song on their new album, Midnight, which dropped on the 1st, and just say my feelings. Okay, so the first song on the album is called Killer in the Mirror, and this was the first song that dropped. It was dropped as a single, and I think it dropped July of 2018, or it was a long time ago. So I've listened to it a lot since then, and it's a lot. But it's a good song to listen to if you're angry. And I feel like that's a common theme. The best time to listen to Set It Off, at least my favorite Set It Off songs that I'm about to lay down, is when you're angry. And I just they're just So Killer in the Mirror is good. I would say Killer in the Mirror, I would rate it an 8 out of 10 for the album. I'm gonna rate these based on the album, not musical in life, music in life. Yeah. So I'd rate it an 8 out of 10. I'd say it's one of the best songs in the album, in my opinion, which makes me kind of sad that they dropped it first, because I've listened to it so much that it's I feel I don't like it as much anymore, just because I'm one of those people who listens to a song so much they get sick of it, which has kind of happened to the song. But I would still say overall it's a really solid song, and definitely one of their more aggressive ones. The next song in the album is Hourglass, and Hourglass is kind of interesting to me because the kind of idea of running out of time with somebody I think is really, really interesting. And the beginning, the ba-na-na-na-na-na-na, kind of reminds me of Danny Phantom for some reason, which makes me really like it. I will say I think this was also one of the better songs in the album. I personally don't like it as much, but I think that's more of a personal preference thing. So I would rate it a 7 out of 10. I know I literally did not describe the song at all, but it has kind of it flows really nicely. I don't know, the ba-na-na-na-na-na-na, and the chorus is really catchy. It's a bop. It's a straight bop. Okay, so the third song is Lonely Dance, and I'm a sucker for Lonely Dance, honestly. It dropped a month or two ago, over winter break, and I've been obsessed with it. It's by far one of my favorite songs, period, right now, and that's just because when I listen to it, it's literally a call-out song for me, because it's about being introverted and how just some days, I always say to tell people I'm close with, when they're why don't you talk to me, blah, I feel I have a bar, a meter, and when that meter, it's my social meter, and then when that meter hits 0, I cannot talk to you, and some days I have to just stay home and recharge my meter, and I just cannot function around people. So this song puts that in, captures that feeling perfectly. And are the lyrics masterful and metaphors and blah, blah, blah? No. Are they direct and very blunt, very, very obvious? Yes. But it's still a bop. Honestly, favorite song in the album, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10. Okay, so the next song in the album is Different Songs, and I normally would not like this song. I think if the song had it was about something else, I wouldn't like it, because it's kind of plain sounding. It's a little bit forgettable. I think Set It Off does a really good job of putting feelings and ideas that aren't really expressed in songs a lot very obviously into songs. And I don't know, I just think the idea of comparing falling out in a relationship to singing different songs and like the harmonies not mashing up anymore is really interesting concept, and it's just relatable to me personally, so I feel like it like connects. I don't know, I just really like it. It vibes with me. So I'd also rate it an 8 out of 10. Okay, so the next song is For You Forever, which also dropped around the same time Lonely Dance did. And it's not bad. There is a song that there are several songs in this album that I like worse. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, this song is garbage. But it's one of those songs that I don't really relate to. It's like being told that like someone's like you're not someone's number one, they're not going to wait for you forever, like you have to make up your mind in a really romantic relationship, and like I've never been put in that situation. I think it's pretty forgettable in general, but I mean it's not bad. But I feel like if you could relate to it, then it's a really good song. So I would probably say it's like a 5 out of 10. Personal preference thing. The next song is Dancing with the Devil, and I really like it. Purely because there's like a spoken kind of like motif, English, that like kind of runs through the whole thing that's very different from their songs, and it's kind of like yo buddy, if you play with me, like you better not. And kind of being betrayed by friends and stuff, which wow, relatable. And I just think it's really interesting sounding, and it's a bop. I don't know. It's like it's a good like. I wish I could play these songs and not get copyrighted, so you would like understand. But it's pretty good. Is it the best song? No. Is it still good? Yeah. Like I'd personally, it's probably a 6 out of 10 for me. Okay, so this next song is called Go to Bed Angry, and you know I had been listening to this album like nonstop. Like I think this was like February like 3rd. I decided to listen to the album, and I decided I was gonna listen to it full complete. And so far up to this point, I had liked every single song. Whether I'd heard it before or hadn't, I was like, oh, okay, this is like a really good album. If it keeps going like this, like, I'm gonna be really happy. And then this song, and I had like, I don't know, I feel like Go to Bed Angry sounds like it's gonna be like good, or so, I don't know, it sounded like it was gonna be very fired up and passionate, which are like my favorite songs from Set It Off, where you can tell that, you know, Cody, who's the lead singer, is like really, really, really into it. This was not that. This is the only song that I literally have not listened to a second time ever. I added pretty much every single song on this album except for this one into my like main playlist. I don't know why. I just think it's just not my thing. And again, I could totally see this song being super relatable if you've been in like a situation where it's like you like want the fighting to stop, and like you can tell like your romantic relationship's getting cold. And then also, they have like another, like a female singer who's not part of Set It Off sing the other half of it, and she's fine. She's fine. But like overall, I just think the song is really forgettable and just really not my thing. So I'm gonna give it like a 3 out of 10, just because I know it's personal preference or something for me not liking it. I just think it's by far the weakest song on the album. The next song is Midnight Thoughts, which is what like the album is like probably named after. Wow. Who needs genius when you have me? Am I right? Really good. I think it really captures anxiety in general, which I have pretty bad. So I can definitely relate to being like up late, not able to sleep, just because you can't stop thinking. I don't know. I just really like it. The song kind of just appeals to me. So I would probably give it like a 6.5 out of 10. Okay, so the next song in the album is called Criminal Minds. And I feel like this is probably one of the best examples of like their pop and punk like roots, because I feel like it's a good mix of both. And it's not my favorite. I think it's a little bit forgettable. And I think the theme of like drama is like a little basic, but it's pretty solid. I'd give it like 5 out of 10. Okay, the next song is No Disrespect. Not gonna lie, it's a bop. The intro, it kind of starts bum 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 bum, and it's really catchy. And I don't know, it's kind of like you're in a bad situation romantically, where like I don't know. I get a lot of Set It Off songs are about breakups or like being cheated on, stuff like that, or being the person someone is cheating on someone else with, if that makes sense. So like I'm kind of used to that. So even though I can't personally relate to it, I like I know there's songs about that, like, cheating in general are, like, good, and the chorus is so catchy, and, like, I don't know, it makes me want to dance, which makes me like it more, I guess. So I would give it a straight, like, maybe a 7 out of 10. I might have to go back and look at these rankings because I feel like I'm forgetting some of these songs, but probably a 7 out of 10. It's a bop. This one's, like, it's very catchy. Okay, so the next song is Stitch Me Up, and I would say this song is tied with Go to Bed Angry as my least favorite. I just think the song is so bland. This song is white bread, and that's, like, a compliment to white bread. Like, it's just, like, the theme is really basic. It's like, I love you despite your scars, and Set It Off has a lot of songs like this, but they have so many songs to this theme that are better. Like, I think it's just called Love. It's not on any of their albums. It's, like, a single that they released. It's so good. Like, and it talks about the same kind of thing, like, you know, like, life is hard, but you'll get through it. Stitch Me Up, I just, like, it's just, like, they took the same ideas but made it more, like, marketable, I think, because there's one part, it really reminds me of You Don't Know You're Beautiful by One Direction, which I have a lot of problems with because it's, like, oh, you don't know you're beautiful, but you need me to tell you that, and it's kind of like that, and I know that's not what they were going for, I really do, but I just don't like it, and it's pretty boring, so I'd also probably give it a 3 out of 10, just because it's not my thing at all. Next song is Raise No Fool. For some reason, I thought that the song would be kind of like another, like, cheating song, which it kind of is, but I think it's more like, you can't trick me, like, don't even, like, try, like, I'm not an idiot, I can see through your, like, lies. Ooh, that rhymed. But it's good. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely, like, a solid song, and I think there's some interesting bits, like the pre-chorus bit is, like, very rhythmically kind of, like, funky. I really like songs where they're, like, funky sounding, and this song is pretty funky. I don't have a lot of opinions on it besides that. I don't know, it was kind of, I forgot about it until I listened to the first couple seconds of it to remind myself of what it was. But I would say it's a good song. Like, I would say it's, like, maybe a 6 out of 10. Okay, so the next song is I Want You, and then, like, Gone in parentheses, which is cute. It's fine. I kind of like that it's kind of set up, like, the beat kind of reminds me more of, like, a love song than, like, a screw you song, but it's just not really my kind of music, which it's so weird how Set It Off can go from being like, oh yes, I love this song, to being like, meh, and I just feel like this is meh. But if you like more kind of, like, pop-ish, light, kind of, like, basic sounding songs, then you'll probably love it. So it's not my favorite, but that's just a personal thing. I mean, I guess I don't really think I need to explain what it's called. It's called I Want You Gone. It's about someone being like, yep, glad you're gone, bye. And so I'd rate it like a 4 out of 10. Okay, the next song is Unopened Windows. Not gonna lie, this song for some reason, like, hit me in the gut because I really like, they have another song called Miss Mysterious on a different album that, like, builds and gets progressively more, like, good. Like, it starts very simple, and then by the end of it, it's, like, this whole, like, party, basically. There's, like, a lot more backup vocals, there's a lot more instruments that get added, and this song is very, very similar. But this song is all about, like, regrets and, like, things that you wish you would have done, kind of looking back on your life. And as someone with a lot of regrets, I don't know, it just kind of hit me. And especially as the song kept going, like, it starts out very simple piano and eventually builds this whole big, like, orchestral sounding, like, yes, like, kind of bop. And I don't know, I just really like it. The song really kind of hit me hard. And I think I love songs that, like, grow. An 8. I'll give it an 8. It's, like, right between a 7.5 and an 8, but I'll be nice and give it an 8. Okay, so the last song on the album is called Happy All the Time, and unlike I thought looking at the title that it was going to be like, you should just be happy all the time, that it wasn't. It was actually like, it's okay to not be happy all the time. And I think that was, like, an interesting twist on the message, and it had some, like, funky trumpets in the back. And by this point, when I first listened to the song, I was so destroyed from Unopened Windows that I was kind of like, okay, I'll be happy now. And I think it was definitely a good way to end the album. I don't think it's my favorite song in the album by any stretch of the margins, but it's definitely not the worst. So it's good that they ended on a positive note. I would say it's probably like a 6.5 out of 10. Okay, so I'm so sorry that video was ridiculously long. Clearly I had a lot more thoughts than even I had realized about the album, but hopefully maybe my like long 15-minute ramble will inspire you guys to listen to some of Set It Off's music, especially if you're into like breakup songs, angsty songs. They have a couple more like lighthearted pop songs. If you're into that too, they kind of have everything. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next week. Bye guys!